What's going on, guys? So a pretty big trade just went down in the NHL. The Boston Bruins trading Taylor Hall and signing rights to Nick Foligno to the Chicago Blackhawks for Ian Mitchell and Alec Regula. In other words, Boston essentially dumped Taylor Hall's contract to Chicago in return for nothing. Now this means they're probably going to be re-signing Tyler Bertuzzi. It's really the only way the math works out. I know some people are thinking maybe they'll be the team Torrey Krug gets flipped to in that St. Louis-Philadelphia trade, as Krug doesn't want to waive to go to Philadelphia. Speaking of which, Taylor Hall has a no-trade clause, so I was pretty surprised when I saw this trade happen. I was like, apparently Chicago isn't on his no-trade list, and that's actually confirmed, so I wonder if he just hasn't updated in a couple of years since he got traded to Boston, or, he'd rather go to Chicago than, say, a team like Toronto or back to Edmonton, who even though they're good, doesn't want to play in that Canadian market. Very, curious what that list looks like. And the funny thing about Hall going to Chicago, guys, means that this is the 6th time Taylor Hall's been on the team that's drafting first overall. 7th if you count the time he went first overall, the Oilers. Of course, you got the Nuge pick, Yak pick, Hischier pick, Hughes pick, Power pick, and now the Bedard pick. Like, that's absolutely insane. I think he's on a team picking first overall more often than he's not. Anyway, guys, I think this trade is great for Chicago. Obviously, right now the roster looks pretty bad. So in getting Taylor Hall, they get a former Hart Trophy winner to play alongside Connor Bedard. He'll be right on his left wing. Of course, Bedard's a sniper, Hall's a playmaker. That should be a solid duo there. They could probably have Athanasiou on the right wing, so that line would have a lot of speed, could actually, compete with other NHL lines. It's not going to be amazing, but it's going to be a decent, NHL line, but right now, like I said, there's nothing on that team. I think the Blackhawks had something like $37 million in cap space. They still have over $30 million. Honestly, too, when you look at all those teams there, I'm surprised not one of these teams did make a play at Taylor Hall. Even like my Detroit Red Wings, it would have been cool to see Hall play for us. Of course, he's played for the Spitfires, so I'm a big fan of his. Would have been cool having him on my favorite team, but I'm hoping Yzerman not making this trade means he's saving that money for Alex DeBrincat. Obviously, time will tell. They definitely took advantage here of Boston needing to clear some cap space. And when you look at the trade deadline, I feel like Pittsburgh made a pretty similar trade for Mikael Granlund. They actually gave a second-round pick for. He's making $5 million, so just a little bit less than Hall, but he's also not as good a player. Blackhawks get Hall for free. Pittsburgh give up a second for Granlund. I think I would definitely rather Taylor Hall for free. So, again, very good for Chicago. In terms of Boston, like I said, this is just a pure cap dump. Ian Mitchell, I don't know if you guys believe in analytics or not, but even if you don't, 0% is not good. Basically, WAR means wins above replacement. How good are you compared to just like a replacement level NHLer, a 7th defenseman AHL guy? 0% means that's literally what he is. He's a replacement level guy. He's not moving the needle in any way for you. Alec Regula, former Red Wing prospect, actually. He's not really turned out yet either. Maybe he'll eventually be like a bottom D pair, but obviously time will tell on that. So Boston here, like I said, clearing cap space. Probably to re-sign Tyler Bertuzzi, which is honestly quite surprising. If you told me like beginning of the year Boston would rather have Bertuzzi and Hall, I don't think I'd believe you. Definitely liked how he played, in those playoffs, bringing that like grit to his game. Although Taylor Hall, like I know a lot of people said last year didn't have the greatest season. In the playoffs, he was actually over a point per game. So pretty crazy to see Boston do this. Now I'm hoping this is the first of many big trades we're going to see this week. And speaking of trades, guys, I'll actually show you a quick trade sim here. Basically, it's kind of obvious. Boston giving up way more value. Taylor Hall is still like a solid player. You guys can see in game here, he actually has the most value of any Boston forward behind Patrice Bergeron. Like he's got more value than Bertuzzi there. Like I said, I think they're going to re-sign instead of Hall in real life. Even DeBrusque there surprisingly has less value. 1 overall less, 5 years younger. That's definitely like a game thing, not a me thing, because yeah, he's making less money too. And then like I mentioned too, in this trade, Chicago gets Nick Foligno signing rights. And I heard too, Chicago actually wants to keep him, which kind of makes sense. He's 34 years old. He's a veteran. He's been a captain before. He can play, in their bottom 6. He's still like, pretty physical player. Pretty solid two-way game. And when you look at Chicago Blackhawks here and sort their team by age, losing Jonathan Days means Tyler Johnson's actually the oldest player on their team. And it's kind of crazy because I still remember when Tyler Johnson broke into the league with that triplet line. Him, Kucherov, Palat, tore it up for the Lightning. And now he's literally going to be the oldest player in the Blackhawks, unless, of course, they re-sign Nick Foligno. So, yeah, kind of funny. Again, I think the trade really works for Chicago. If you guys are curious, in-game here, Regula, 22.74, Mitchell, 23.76. Like, again, they're both pretty average. Hall, put him on Bedard's wing. I don't see how that doesn't make Bedard play so much better this year, having, like, a legit top 6 playmaking NHL winger on his line. And again, Nick Foligno there, essentially going to be the team dad. So, yeah, Blackhawks say yes every single day of the week. Yeah, no question about it. So, hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. Let me know in the comments section who you think won this trade. We got some very exciting times right now in the NHL with the draft, of course, in a couple days. Speaking of which, guys, I'll actually have my final mock draft out later tonight. Make sure you stay tuned for that.